All right, y'all. Now, if I can just get this to stay on my top and not flip-flop, we will be good. I think you guys can still hear me even if it goes in and out, but we just gonna roll with it, all right? Give me grace. Now, what's up, everybody? Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you were new here or you've stumbled upon my channel, I hope that you'll check me out. Check this video out. And then consider hitting that subscribe button. I am your girl, EBE, and this is the Ebb Effect. We are skipping the intro because we're jumping right on in. I'm not going to tell you that I already recorded this video. Yeah. And then after recording, I realized that I left out 3 fragrances that belong in this video. Okay, so let me back it up. Now, last year, I did a video where I ranked everything that I purchased for the year. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I did rank at least my top 5, top 10, something like that. Well, I am doing the same thing for this year. And I know we've said that 2025 has moved quick, fast, and in a hurry, except for January. January, that bad boy was a long time. And then after that, everything just picked up so quickly. And here we are in December. But despite how quickly this year moved, it was a rough year. It was a rough year, about as rough as what my fingertips look like because my nails are not done, but that's okay. Despite the trenches, I still managed to smell good this year. So I wanted to do a roundup of everything that I bought. So everything outside of my top 10 is ranked, but we're gonna call it loosely because it could shift 1 or 2 spots. But for the most part, I've ranked everything. So if you're interested to see what my roundup looks like, keep on watching. Okay, so I did move my mic. Hopefully this is a better location so you guys can hear me a little more crisp. Now, before we get into the official list, I do have some fragrances that I picked up this year that I do want to share. I just don't have the physical bottles. Starting with Milkshake from Juliet Has a Gun. Now, this was a deluxe size sample, a nice size sample, so I wore it about 3 or 4 times before I emptied it. That one was a beautiful take on the marshmallow vibe. I really enjoyed it, but didn't really feel like I needed to pick up a full size bottle of that. The next one was Perfect Absolue from Marc Jacobs. Now this one was the actual travel size, and you guys, I really enjoyed this rendition from the Perfect line, and in my opinion, it's the best one. It's plummy, it's a little deeper. That one's tea. Now that one, although I did not pick up a full size, I would strongly consider that in the future, but I can say 2 thumbs up to that rendition because it was really good. Okay, last but not least is You Do from Glossier. Now this was a 1.7 ounce that I purchased from Sephora and ran through the clip, the entire clip. The bottle is done. Unfortunately, I did not save the bottle so I could show you guys, but that fragrance profile is one that I absolutely love. It's woody, it's aromatic. It has a molecular touch that I just love oh so much. So I enjoyed the fragrance while I had it. And for me, it filled a void that I feel like I needed in the time that I had it. So after finishing it, I didn't really feel like I needed to replace it right then and there. In the future, I might yearn for it again, but for right now, I enjoyed it while I had it. Now I have 2 honorable mentions, starting with Florabloom from Guerlain's Aqua Allegoria line. Now this is my first one from this line and I absolutely love it. This is definitely girly, definitely floral, perfect for the springtime, early summer, and fall. Now the reason why this is an honorable mention is because I did not purchase this. This was a date night gift that I got. So I wanted to mention this because I got it this year, but I love this so much. Then we have Althair from Parfums de Marly. I'm so happy to have this back in my collection, you guys. I had this last year, I had the smaller size, ran through that, was done by October, and I had been missing it so much in my collection, okay? Oh, is a spiced vanilla, and this is oh so good, perfect for the fall, even the winter time. This gives all the feels, and like I said, I was missing this in my collection, and you guys know that I mentioned that I needed it back. So that is exactly what I did, but this time we got the Big Daddy because I need this in my collection for the foreseeable future. I can't see myself without this scent. I was missing it, but it's back to stay. So because I already purchased this and I already ranked this last year, that's why this is an honorable mention. All right, outside of that, I have approximately 20 fragrances that I am going to share with you. So we're gonna start from the bottom up. Coming in at number 20, we have Valentino's Green Extravaganza. Now, this particular line within the brand is super popular. They have a ton of flankers. This one in particular has a fresher green take on it, has some floral aspects. It's bright, it's airy, but there is a tea note in here that had me captivated and had me wanting to grab up a full bottle of this, and that's exactly what I did. It's perfect for the spring, the summertime, all warm temperatures. So it's just this one and the original Donna Born and Roma that I own. I really do need to get my nose back on the extra dose, so I may look to grab that up in the future, but for now, this edition was perfect. Strawberry Letter by Fleur comes in at number 19, you guys. This is another summer stunner in my book. This is a strawberry scented fragrance, and that strawberry is so realistic to me. It gives juicy. It doesn't give any synthetic vibes in my opinion. And I surely was dousing myself this summer, hence the dent. But this was an immediate yes, I need this. 18 is Impadia from BDK. Now, homegirl, sister girl was super popular when she hit the streets, okay? She's died down just a little bit because there are so many releases that happened in 2025, y'all. When she arrived, the buzz was hot, okay? So I needed to check the buzz out and see if it was true. Even though she's not buzzing like how she was buzzing when she first came out, this is still that girl. What I love the most is the juxtaposition of the brightness and fruitiness in the opening. It's got a pear and some bergamot. And then at the bottom, I think there's like some sandalwood, some oud, something like that, on top of the rose aspect in here. But she's still that girl. Number 17, in my opinion, was a banger for the summer. Now, this ain't new, but she is new to me. And I'm so glad that I'm part of the Carioca Heart team. This is a mango beauty who has a strong presence, okay? Love this scent. Now, this was popular, maybe 2 or 3 summers ago. The heat was on for a minute and it took me a bit, but I caught on. Got my nose on it and I said, yes, yes, I need. Number 16 is special because this was a pickup from Paris this past summer. This is Peche Mirage. This is from Guerlain. Everything that Guerlain does, for the most part, everything that I've smelled, let me say that, banger, okay? Banger. So this is no different. This is a peach centered fragrance, of course, but it does have other interesting aspects going on, specifically a leather note. And honestly, to me, that leather note provides depth and, just like I said, makes it interesting, but it's not overtaking the fragrance. It's not making me smell like new car seats. I absolutely love this one and I'm glad I have it in my collection. Capri In A Bottle comes in at number 15, and the island of Capri is absolutely beautiful, y'all. Me and my girls had an opportunity to visit and experience that gorgeous place a few years back, and I feel like this properly encapsulates what it gives, okay? So conveniently, the notes on the back, this has lemon, sugar, freesia, raspberry, vanilla, and musk. This was a must to have in my collection because at one point they didn't have this available anymore. It was out of stock for a while, but I'm glad this came back. Oh, I know what it was. They only released them in the little 10 ml sizes. So I'm glad they did do the 50. I'm hoping maybe in the future they would consider 100, or is that just me being greedy? I don't know, but I'll stick with what I got because I love it so much. Number 14, I think that's what we're on. Fantasmagory. That top is so obnoxious, but we love what we have going on here as a whole. Now, I recently talked about when I first grabbed this up from Louis Vuitton. This is their take on a vanilla gourmand. I personally don't find it to be that gourmandish. It has gourmandy touches maybe, but nevertheless, this is a beauty within itself. And I also talked about how I felt like this needed time to really show and prove what it has. So I saw the potential from the beginning, okay? I had the nose for that, and y'all, it's doing just that. It has macerated, of course, since I've gotten it, because it does have some air in it. That vanilla has strengthened. That vanilla is giving more of a presence, and we're loving it over here. 13 is Valaya Exclusif. Now, she's not new to this. She's definitely true to this. And you guys know the OG, her sister, she's been that girl. okay? But she wanted to come along for the party, and I love keeping family members together, so I had to pick her up. You guys know what this is. The Valaya DNA has an Ambroxan woody touch, which I absolutely love, but the exclusive version has an added almond note. It's more powdery, and to me it just has smoother edges versus the original. I love them both, so adding this to my collection was a no-brainer. All right, so we're gonna run it back to Kayali because yum marshmallow, to be specific. Y'all, I had no idea that this would have me in a chokehold like how it did this year. I have not worn this in a while because the way I've been going crazy on this trigger makes no damn sense. I need to sit down. I have sat down. Honestly, I have sat down. I'm trying to ration as much as possible because this is the 100 ml bottle. And look at where we at. So it's been a few months since I've grabbed this, but this also has freesia, it has strawberry, pink marshmallow, creamy coconut, whipped vanilla, pink musk. This is so good. And honestly, y'all know how I feel about the pistachio fragrance. That is my baby. But she's giving her brother a run for his money because this one is oh so good too. So I would love it if I could get a backup bottle. Kayali, call me. But once I resume spraying this, wearing this, I'm definitely going to re-up with another 100 ml bottle. Coming in at number 11, we have Pur Ambre from Louis Vuitton. You would think I have a crush on Louis Vuitton the way... How many Louis Vuittons have I mentioned so far? So this is the second one. So Pur Ambre. You guys have heard the story already. This was a very expensive purchase that I also picked up from Paris. And the unfortunate truth about this fragrance is that because it is a molecular based fragrance, it's just ambroxan and ambergris, I cannot smell it. Right now, I smell nothing from the nozzle. But when I sampled this in store, I smelled everything, which is so peculiar to me. Smelled everything in the store, which is why I was so intrigued and felt like I needed to go ahead and pick this up. But had I known that after that experience that I would be playing cat and mouse with this fragrance, I'll smell it one day, the next day, nothing. Right? So I have to come back and revisit this every few days, every few weeks, honestly, just to see if my nose has reset to picking this up. It's quite unfortunate. And because of that and the price tag of this scent, I will say this was not my smartest buy for this year, but it only takes me one time to be a dummy behind a fragrance. This is the first and last time that I will spend an egregious amount of money on a scent that won't guarantee me being able to enjoy it every single time that I pick it up and every single time that I spray it. So while I do appreciate what it gives when I can smell it, the other times it's just water in a bottle with no scent. But beyond that, what I have been able to smell, it's beautiful. And because of that, it's in the 11th place. Number 10 is my friend Angel Dust from Fugazi. So I just spoke about this, and this is also a fragrance that gives molecular vibes, but this is one that I can definitely smell, and every single time that I wear it, ooh, it gives me all the feels. It has a peppery touch. It has some smoothness in the background. I love this. This can be your everyday wear. And there was one point where I was spraying this every day, as you can see by the dent. This is an easy compliment getter as well because, yeah, I've gotten plenty of those while wearing this, but definitely glad that I picked this up. Number 9 is a lovely one from Amouage. This is Love Delight. This is a gorgeous floral gourmand. It's so pretty, and this is so springtime too. Honestly, what would you want to wear when you want to wear it? But I could wear this every day. But in the springtime is when it's going to shine, spring, early summer. Now, you guys know Amouage as a brand thrives on complex fragrances. That is their niche, but this one doesn't necessarily fit that realm. If you ever wanted to dive into the brand, I feel like there are a handful of fragrances within the brand that you could use to tiptoe your way into getting to know them, and this is definitely one of them. If you like a sweet floral take, get your nose on this one. In the number 8 spot, we have Le Cuir from Christian Louboutin. Now, this is a sexy date night, leathery with a touch of rose, osmanthus, and I believe it has either cashmere or suede because there's a smooth factor in here that I just cannot resist. When I say if you want to get him intrigued for date night, put this on. Okay, put this on. Now, from this line, I think it was La Rose that came out and had all the girls scurrying, okay? Scurrying down to their nearest Nordstrom's or Neiman's, I believe, to get that bottle. I knew I wasn't going in that direction. I went the other way, and this one for me, yeah. So speaking of scurry, when the Sephora sale happened, I scurried my butt right on down to pick up number 7, Forbidden Apple from Chris Collins. Now, this is my very first one from Chris Collins, and it won't be my last. Y'all, this had me at hello. I sniffed this maybe a couple months before the sale, and I had it on the radar, just waiting to get a discount because this is quite pricey. And while I do think it was worth it, I wanted to be smart and save some coins, okay? Had to. But this is a gorgeous, fruity, gourmand fragrance, and it has an edge to it that I just absolutely love. There's a boozy vibe, there's red apple, a pink pepper. This is so beautiful, and I was not expecting that. So what are we having for dinner? Steak and potatoes, but immediately after, Forbidden Apple, croque moi. At number 6, we have Printemps Blanc. You guys have heard the story of this already. You can tell by the dent that this is an absolute love. This was also a beautiful mistake. I was not going in looking for this fragrance, but it came to me by mistake, and I'm so happy that it landed in my collection, y'all. This is a gorgeous, cozy vanilla. Ooh, that vanilla is good. And it has a note of tea in here. So vanilla, some light florals. And I just love how they put this together. This has me mesmerized. And this is also one that I could foresee in the future repurchasing. We're down to the top 5. And coming in at number 5, Summer Mink from Better World Fragrances. Y'all, this is a fragrance that I was not expecting to enjoy and love the way that I enjoy and love this fragrance. If you are not new here, you know that this is not my first bottle, baby. This is the second bottle. So the first one was the smaller size, and I was kicking myself after experiencing the beauty of this. I should have gotten the big bottle. Now, my first bottle, I ran into a situation coming back from Paris. Long story short, my bag was too heavy. I had to sacrifice and let some things go. I was already down to like my last maybe 20 sprays if I had to guesstimate. So I sprayed what I could and I left the bottle in Paris. But as soon as I made it back to the homeland, I secured the big bottle. This does not smell like your regular designer scent. This could tussle with the niches of the world. This is an impressive release by Drake. And for that reason, it's in the number 5 spot. Vanilla Powder, the Extrait version. You guys know how I feel about the OG. And it was my number 1 pick for last year. Well, it may not be number 1, but it is in the top 5. And that's because the strength of this juice is impressive, impeccable. But in this version, there's a smoother, richer take. There's an added note of tonka bean, and it gives it just a little bit more sweetness. So if you didn't like the screechiness, for lack of a better word, but the screechiness of the coconut from the original, try this one and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But for me, this is in 4th place. Check please for mind games. Y'all know that I was shooketh when I sprayed that sample, that I wasn't expecting to fall in love immediately. And if I'm being quite honest, I feel like this might be the quickest sample to full bottle transaction that I've had in my entire collection this year. This might be. Outside of the ones that I bought from Paris, that's different. But from sampling, experiencing a fragrance, and purchasing the bottle, this would be the quickest turnaround. So got that sample, mesmerized, but I didn't want to get catfish. So I said, let me wear this entire sample just to make sure it's giving what it gave on paper. It needed to give the same thing on skin. It gave more than I could have ever imagined. There's an oak barrel and nougat nut in here combined that just makes this sensual. It gives it pizzazz, it gives it all the things, okay? That girl, that guy, because this is perfectly unisex, the number 3 spot. All right, so we are down to our last 2, and keeping it a buck, they could easily interchange with one another. Either one could be 1 or 2. But for the sake of this video, I think I'm comfortable with where they landed. So coming in at number 2, we've got Angel Share on the Rocks, y'all. This is not that old in my collection. This is at most a couple months, but the dent is telling the story of my love for this scent profile. Now, you guys have heard me say this quite a bit at this point. The original is cool. I love it from afar. The cinnamon is doing too much. This third rendition, which is top tier, is the one for me. The added note of citrus on top opens and brightens it up. It makes it a refreshing scent to wear, and I absolutely love it. And I absolutely need Killian to get on the line. We need to talk because your girl needs a re-up. Stat. So that could only mean in the number one spot was my birthday gift to myself, and that is Symphony from Louis Vuitton. This is an amazing fragrance. While most people don't typically like freshies, I don't know if this was truly considered a freshy fragrance. It's more citrus, let me say that. It's more citrus, but this is citrus with power. This is citrus that has somewhat of a transit power because the way this is overly addictive and it just takes over you, like, oh my gosh, you don't want to stop sniffing this. Like, you just want to live in the bubble of this. At least I do, all day, every day. Now, the only con to this fragrance is how expensive it is. However, I have absolutely no regrets. This is my number one buy for 2025. 2025 is wrapped, and those are all of the fragrances that I picked up this year. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are and what were your top 2 pickups for the year. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so until the next time, you guys, thank you guys so much for the continued love and support that you all have shown me in the year 2025. I hope and pray to continue to be a valuable resource for you moving forward. And I'm just grateful for the genuine community that we have built. So until the next time and until next year, I will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.